What if the US government secretly built a massive underground bunker right under our noses? How could a facility designed to shelter the entire US Congress and staff stay hidden for more than 30 years? And why was one of America's most luxurious hotels chosen to hide this Cold War doomsday bunker? My friends, you're going to like this one. During the Cold War, the threat of nuclear war hung over the world like a shadow. Following the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the power of atomic weapons changed everything. Governments across the globe rushed to develop their own nuclear arsenals, fearing what might happen if their enemies gained the upper hand. For a short time, the United States held a monopoly on nuclear weapons. But in 1949, the Soviet Union successfully tested its own atomic bomb. Suddenly, the world had entered a dangerous new era. Two superpowers now possessed weapons capable of destroying entire cities in seconds. This uneasy balance became known as mutually assured destruction, a situation where both sides had enough nuclear firepower to wipe out the other. And while political leaders hoped these weapons would never be used, they also knew they needed a plan, just in case. Across America, people began preparing for nuclear war in their own ways. Fallout shelters became a symbol of the Cold War era. Families stocked basements with canned food, water, and emergency supplies, hoping they might survive if the unthinkable were to happen. But while ordinary Americans were building shelters beneath their homes, the US government was quietly preparing something much larger, a secret contingency plan designed to keep the American government functioning even after a nuclear attack. It was called Project Greek Island, and it was hidden in plain sight for over 30 years, beneath the elegant Greenbrier Resort in West Virginia. At first glance, the Greenbrier looked like the last place you'd expect to find a Cold War survival bunker. The luxury hotel had been welcoming guests since the mid-19th century. Originally built in 1858 near natural sulphur springs believed to have healing properties, the resort quickly became a popular destination for wealthy travellers. Over the decades, it hosted diplomats, celebrities, and politicians. 26 US presidents have stayed at the Greenbrier, along with international visitors and foreign dignitaries. With its sweeping lawns, grand columns, and red-carpeted halls, the resort became known as one of the most prestigious retreats in the United States. But during the Cold War, the Greenbrier's value went beyond luxury. It was remote enough to offer protection, yet close enough to Washington, D.C. to remain accessible. About a 4-hour drive from the capital, the resort sat deep within the mountains of West Virginia. That combination of distance and proximity made it ideal for a secret government project. In 1959, construction quietly began on a new addition to the hotel known as the West Virginia Wing. To guests and visitors, it appeared to be just another expansion of the resort. But beneath the surface, something far more significant was taking shape. Hidden beneath the building project was a massive underground bunker designed to shelter the entire United States Congress in the event of nuclear war. The government even created a fake company called Forsyth Associates to disguise the operation. Workers posing as hotel employees quietly maintained the facility for decades, and the bunker itself was enormous. Buried deep beneath the Greenbrier's grounds, it contained everything needed to sustain Congress during a nuclear crisis. Rows of bunk beds filled 18 dormitories, each capable of housing 60 people. In total, the bunker could hold 1,080 occupants, enough for every senator, every representative, and a small staff. But there was one notable omission. The families of those officials were not included. Inside the facility, planners created everything necessary for a functioning government. There was a cafeteria capable of feeding hundreds of people. Food supplies were replaced every 6 months to keep them fresh. There were medical facilities, air filtration systems, and even a crematorium, officially called a pathological waste incinerator. And perhaps most importantly, there were rooms designed to allow Congress to continue its work. Separate chambers were built for the House of Representatives and the Senate. Between them sat a massive hall large enough to host a joint session of Congress. Even the look of Washington, D.C. was recreated underground. television broadcast rooms were designed with large photographic backdrops of the US Capitol, allowing lawmakers to address the nation as if they were still in Washington. Nearby, a transmission tower stood ready to broadcast those messages across the country. All of it hidden beneath a luxury hotel filled with vacationing guests. For more than 3 decades, the bunker remained one of America's most closely guarded secrets. Hotel staff whispered rumours about mysterious government workers maintaining strange areas of the property. But officially, the bunker did not exist. And then in 1992, the secret was finally revealed. Washington Post journalist Ted Gupp uncovered the existence of Project Greek Island and published a report exposing the bunker to the world. With the Cold War over, the government had little reason to keep the facility classified. The bunker was quickly decommissioned. Today, parts of the underground complex are used for data storage, while other sections are open to visitors as a historical attraction simply known as the bunker. Ironically, the massive shelter built to protect Congress during a nuclear apocalypse was never used. The closest it came was during the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962, when the world stood on the brink of nuclear war. But diplomacy prevailed, and the bunker remained silent. But for more than 30 years, beneath one of America's most luxurious resorts, the United States had secretly prepared for the end of the world. The story of Project Greek Island raises another question. If a massive underground facility like this could remain secret for more than 30 years, how many others might exist that we still don't know about? The Cold War produced a vast network of hidden infrastructure. Facilities like NORAD's Cheyenne Mountain Complex and the famous Area 51 base have since become widely known. But Project Greek Island reminds us that some secrets can stay hidden in plain sight for decades. In this case, it took investigative journalism to uncover the bunker in 1992. This reporting revealed that beneath a luxury resort filled with vacationing guests, the United States had quietly prepared for the possibility of nuclear catastrophe. It also raises an uncomfortable question. If the bunker had remained secret, it might still exist today as a functioning emergency refuge for Congress. Instead, once its existence became public, the government quickly decommissioned the facility. So did the exposure of the bunker simply reveal a fascinating piece of Cold War history? Or did it quietly eliminate a contingency plan that might have served an important purpose? And if a project this large could stay hidden for so long, what other facilities might still exist, designed for emergencies we hope never happen? Project Greek Island also might have simply been relocated. In the end, we may just look at simple construction sites in a whole new way, because sometimes the most fascinating mysteries aren't necessarily hidden in remote jungles or ancient ruins. Sometimes they're hidden directly beneath our feet.